OKFM 101.7.
Onumunyanfo Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, former Deputy Minister for Education, MP for North Town, na yenene twetwe enkomo. Honorable Memwache.
Oh, minia mejo so bibia boko.
Boko na wo so
Nyamiado.
Na maba wo nchen a enura censorship motion a mote ho ad hoc committee mu discuss ye enura ne ba se as a some subject to debate. Mo keka bia na eduru se mo be secret voting no. You say majority for no say wo ma ohuru wo mo nsa afida political parliamentary crucifixion of Honorable Ken Oforiatta. Na eno na yese we say no. Wo mo ahoro mo nsa afiri ho a why did they stage a walkout? Enkomo yi wodwen ho a efa ba bi wonti ase. Wada ma minti o.
Yo medase edikai ma men chat for nyina na member mo abaso okayfm ejuma pa mo ye nyina ye tiemo, and we are very impressed with your output in the interest of God and country. Ghana for nyina dodona
OKFM
akase bebia finance minister Ken Oforiatta or the economy about bedroom wa collapse economy way OSHA indicators in
Produ sa friend ma me bia mano article friend ma me bia okay 101.7 so any yani onumnyamfo Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa MP for North Town ena etwe nkomo no ada ahoma no so article ye bo modern see ensa be kan yare establish contact na obatampa mada ken so say run special promotion na oba wonyima afi na wo bewo ana wa wo foforo kra no baby ni mada no eniema ahodo bi ti se maame no mada no fetus part bed mat Macintosh 2 pieces Savlon power zone geisha soup hairnet bathroom slipper nightwear and a flash ni nyina no Fiscal akra befa akwara ne de no welcome dresses caps cost sheet ni e keka maame waba na menkomra oh me sabo akwa babio.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah,
sorry.
Okay.
Line.
Right.
Yeah. And now I was making the point, sir. Ghana for Dodona, I mean, nobody can contest the fact, sir. The Bia Ken Oforiatta as finance minister, the Bia or the economy about Bedrono. It has been a very disastrous showing. Every single indicator, very disastrous, mania. Shabebia inflation war, or taking over management of the economy, inflation hovering around 11 to 12%. Say is in excess of 40%. The worst in living memory, worst in over 2 decades. OSHA, your debt to GDP ratio, or taking over. Onoankasa, when he appeared before us at the ad hoc committee, debt to GDP ratio was just around 52%. Say IMF World Bank almost say is 105%. The worst ever. OSHA, the loans are busia wakwa kobo or taking over. Onoankasa, when he appeared before us at the vote of censure committee, Okase, what he inherited was 123 billion Ghana cedis. Onunkwa abubusia, 123 billion we know every year. Colonial era, independence, Kwame Nkrumah Bresso, all the way, Busia, Achampong, Obia Liman, Rawlings, Kufuor, Mills, Mahama, Obia die 122 billion. Onunkwa Obaye, or the Akwa could do over 500 billion. His own work. More than tripled. Wajib Busia, Ode, a binding aba before him. all the way to 1957, nobody has accumulated loans like Ken Ofori-Atta has. Now, OSHA loans also are all general. We're making sure that the company, Data Bank, play a very active role. Omo transaction advisors, omo book runners. Data Bank had never been a book runner. Other finance minister, why you omo book runners for all our Euro bonds. Enti Busiano, we contend strongly, and the facts is there, the evidence is clear. Say, our personal interest, enti Obo Busia, Ghana economy no collapse no. On private business empire is being enhanced. Is profiting from our woes. And Indiana, the first ground for our vote of censure motion was this conflict of interest. Now, so he marshaled lawyers and said that it is a no-go area. Mayen discussing that matter. If he had nothing to hide, why did he marshal lawyers to stop us from delving into that matter?
Maybe it borders on.
Especially when Onwankasa Abba Parliament, in response to our questions, to confirm, say, on Euro bonds alone, Data Bank has made 159 million Ghana cedis in profit just for Euro bonds and having added the other loans at Wakwakoji. Enti Osha all the indicators. Say menu ekasa. Haircut is the norm, the new norm. In Crawford life savings, in Crawford investment, Ghana for pension, pensioner, why ye Juma 25 years, 30 years, 35 years. Was saving in mutual funds, hoping say or retire or bekwako jina home na at least kitwebia or they best survive it and son and yamia friend there, at least that will be secured because he or she has worked so hard for our country. No, all of that, you see, haircut.
But you say, I don't know, any minister didn't come on or say it's only 2023, and one of the World Bank conditionalities into we no, you have chance to 2023, no, now I say 2024. This is what going to happen. And a man would also a year be. Ours is no exception. Meaning, some common was what to be.
Mate, 2023, it is 2023 is just 1 minute and 1 hour. 2023 is a whole year.
A whole year, yeah.
January, February, March, all the way to December. How does he expect these pensioners to survive? Ghana for more investments have been eroded. How does he expect them to survive? And look, this business, AC or mine be. Look, share the literature all across. Over the last 10 years, only 2 countries, Greece and Jamaica, which have become case studies for bad management of economies. And share the AC or Greece and Jamaica, bad finance ministers. Now they were concealing their real fiscal situation, the debt situation, hiding debts, misreporting to Parliament, like an Ofori-Atta did. IMF said, look, the way you are accounting to Parliament, you are misreporting. Creative accounting, dubious ways of presenting, because Usha accounting standards are international. IMF share almost staff report year after year. It was only 2020 COVID buy. You can say, there is $1 billion available for countries who apply. Or apply no, or they your true fiscal situation, the true debt situation, and no or present here to receive the $1 billion when $1 billion was at stake. And at the committee, I put that to him. He confirmed. Say yes, that's what, because I had a copy of his application that he made to the IMF. And so why was he not reporting? He knew the fact all along. Why was he not reporting that to the Ghanaian Parliament? Inti bebia ye was a say no. It is mismanagement. It is gross incompetence, ineptitude, cluelessness, visionlessness, and wickedness. Look at what has happened to the National Cathedral. Linear. And in our parliament, I produced the pictures. It was only yesterday, and I may commission the drone pictures from the site. On him said, Ono Ankasa, when he appeared before the committee, he was evasive. He says, Onkai releases a wire. You say you are a competent manager of Ghanaian economy. Who releases Sika unconstitutionally because you don't have parliamentary approval. We'll say Onkai. So we wrote to him that he must bring us the answers. Will you believe, sir, when he finally and reluctantly brought the answers, no, it has emerged, sir, Sika, Ghana Sika, were withdraw unconstitutionally, illegally, unlawfully, 339 million Ghana cedis. Can you believe that? And he was hiding under contingency.
339.
339.
But I was say under the
Cathedral.
339.
Yes. Can you believe that? 339 million.
But was it for contingency, you know?
Yeah, or say contingency. Meaning, contingency, no? There are rules, who kind the Public Financial Management Act. This project cannot fall under contingency. Contingency, BBA want to make envisage one you on one kasa or site 2014 under President Mahama Black Stars releases under contingency. Black Stars, no, you can understand, sir. Who name say Omube qualify at the time I will throw budget, no, we'll put the budget together for it to be approved by Parliament, no. One name say national team no Omube qualify now Omu qualify. Until that can come under contingency. Omu qualify krana as they are progressing in the tournament, no. One name say would they go beyond the group stage? Omube could do quarterfinals and semi-finals. And Kai said the bonuses, the more they stay in the tournament, the more you pay. It it can come under contingency. There is no argument about that. Indiana, even now, Qatar 2022, you know, the releases came from contingency. I can understand that. I can live with that. But nobody, it makes no sense, absolutely no sense, to claim that National Cathedral project where you know, President Akufo-Addo Eka said it is his priority of priorities. Priority of priority projects. They always come under Appendix 6. Therefore, they can download the budget. If you take every budget, Appendix 6, that's where government priority projects are listed. You won't find National Cathedral there. Point number 2, National Cathedral, on the 7th of March 2017, President Akufo-Addo Okate sought for the National Cathedral. 7th of March 2017. Then, 2018, May 2018, they wrote to all those who were in properties that they were going to demolish. 80 judges, Judicial Training Institute, Scholarship Secretariat, Passport Office, Comsys Ghana Limited, Waterstone Realty. All these entities, Omuchiro Krata, signed by the Lands Minister at the time, John Peter Abewu. I have copies of all those letters. Say, they should vacate. They are going to demolish their buildings. How is it that a project you have been preparing for all along, March 7, 2017, Wakati sort, May 2018, Watchro to all the property owners said they should move. You are going to demolish your properties. Even that demolition, that model that was adopted, that insane, ludicrous model is even a matter. And that model alone, Grano, can be a subject for investigations and for sanctions. Say Ghana, poor country, Yenisika, Upese Usi project, Uye Cathedral, Unkope, the beer, Asasia, a year greenfield, is not encumbered. You decide, say, you go and demolish all these properties, Passport Office, Scholarship Secretariat. Into one him say 339 million. No. All of these demolitions that have taken place, compensations, relocations, including judgment data, EBA, Waterstone Realty, or Marco Court, say, a buying a demolition or apartment complex in 2018, no, they have not been compensated. When him say they are in court demanding a judgment debt of 120 million Ghana cedis. All of those monies, no, and 339 million. And my conservative estimate say by the time you attach the demolitions, the relocation of the judges, because we had to pay their rent in dollars. We had to construct new bungalows for them. The Comsys IT firm, their relocation, Waterstone Reality. By the time we pay the judgment debt, look, we'll be running into billions of Ghana cedis.
Sa 339 million we free for the National Cathedral no. Eno no esese appropriated by Parliament and answer and nam say free contingency fund ni mu de obetimi ayi without prior approval by Parliament.
Good question. Enti the American is a National Cathedral as a project with multiple year outlay. A year project why envisage why year planning where I mean what setting up secretariat. It doesn't fall under contingency. You cannot use contingency for that. Nobody does that. If you do that, it is illegal and it shows that you are a bad leader, you are a mismanager, you are totally inept. You don't do that. It cannot, National Cathedral cannot fall under contingency. That is the first point. Second point, even if Kanoforiata decides to hide under contingency vote, he claims he's using the 2019 contingency vote. What kind? The 2019 budget. The contingency for 2019 was 244 million Ghana cedis. Sika Kanoforiata wa withdraw for the National Cathedral is 339 million. It is even in excess of appropriation. What was approved in Parliament for contingency, no, it is way below what he has withdrawn. That is also another offense, which he can be sanctioned for, which he can be prosecuted for. Wherever he passes, hiding under contingency is ridiculous. That's why I call it the most ridiculous afterthought ever to be presented to the Ghanaian Parliament. Very ridiculous. And number two, the allocation to the contingency vote was way below the 339 million Oko release here. You see, where we are today, no, Ghanaians should understand, say, baby, I true say, our economy way, our pasca, economy way, I say, look, Sebi, COVID, Russia-Ukraine war, a global phenomenon affecting countries.
About what to say, you can say.
Ebanisena, a Ghana and a year facing a debt restructure. Ghana has never gone through this debt restructure. This is the first time a year defaulting on our loan since the 1970s. Since a champion time, a champion can say, this is, can you imagine? Over 40 years, this is what Kanoforiata has done to us. This is what the economic management team led by Baumia has done to us. Those who prefer to have superior managerial skills, better managers of the Ghanaian economy, this is what they have done to us. And look, people think that, politics, no, we are talking about livelihood, Dominia. I am an MP. I know what my constituents are going through. Every weekend when I go to the constituency, letters I'm reading. When I meet the Old Pensioners Association, look, you engage them, you see their eyes, the tears, the fear. How are they going to survive? How are they going to pay their medication? And at that age, Minia, we're through 65, 70, they are on all kinds of medications. And the pensions, is aligned to certain medications, certain hospital treatments. And this is a survival matter. It's a life and death issue. When him say, as I speak to you, businesses are closing down. Job losses are going on a massive scale. People are relocating their businesses to other countries. This is not politics, though. This is about livelihoods. It's about people's lives. In China, me are very, very disappointed in Minyanoma Omutina, the other side of the aisle, the NPP MPs. Muna Moka say, motion way, mobile supporting, mo hold a press conference. Say,
one more kind. But every baby, one more kind say. And you may be a money shame more about ad hoc committee anymore. Sani man wasn't part of their concerns.
Minia, go and read Omwankasa statement of Omukaya on the 25th of October. Go and read it. They themselves and the Apia Kubi or Kase, they have been called upon at numerous occasions to defend conflict of interest.
Yes,
okay, and the Apia Kubi Kanye. About the gross mismanagement. Look, they should point to one thing in our vote of censure motion. Is it National Cathedral? Is it misreporting to Parliament? Is it the collapse of the Ghanaian cedi, which is now the worst currency in the world? Which they should point to one ground.
But almost saying say the worst currency in the world.
What? Omoankai Blue Bank. They don't know that the Ghanaian currency in October and November was adjudged the worst currency in the world. That's a fact. I mean, you can't deny that. I mean, these are all facts. There is no Onoankasa Oba when he appeared before the ad hoc committee. He said he's sorry for all of what he has put us through, but in the same breath, tried to make excuses. They didn't want to take responsibility. What kind of leader are you? That's why I read his own book to him. Onoankasa book on leadership, entrepreneurship. Onoankasa has spoken about taking responsibility. And yet he's given the opportunity and he cannot take responsibility. He talks about in his book why Ghana must be self-reliant. Ghana must stop borrowing and stop depending on other donor partners. And yet, look at his record. Look at what he has done. And look, this is a man who, if he has IMF. You have said that publicly. Say, won't call IMF. One would have thought, say, when the decision was taken, ABI and decision, ABI president and vice president, on more decision. If you had any scruples, any conscience, any morality, any principle, Anka, who be resigning? Look, Oko UK, David Cameron, former UK Prime Minister, he was for Remain. Omoko referendum, o campaign referendum. The British nationals voted for Brexit, said they are going to leave the EU. He said, look, I was for Remain. I never supported Brexit. I cannot be Prime Minister to oversee the negotiations, to lead the negotiations, on something that I don't believe in. I am resigning. That is principle. That is what people who have conscience. I mean, look, me and Kasa, me know Kasa to say. I used to be on the appointments committee. I didn't agree with my own principles. I resigned. I left. That is. If you have principles, if you have any morals, so what can publicly, what can say? You don't believe in the IMF. Won't call IMF and that won't call IMF for China. You are never going to the IMF. When your government takes that decision, if you have any principle, if you have any scruples, if you want us to believe you that you are a man of your word, that scriptures now kind debiano, you believe in some Christian values, you will leave, you will resign. I am so shocked. Say, Ejuma, you are serving us, you are a public servant. The public says that we don't want you to serve us any longer. Your record is bad, it's horrible. You are destroying everything. So you just leave. Is it by force? Why are you forcing yourself on the Ghanaian people? It's unbelievable. Totally unbelievable.
Honorable, Samuna Moa Bemanka, what would you do differently?
Very brilliant question. Very, very brilliant question. Eddie Kain, Anka Yena Yawa Baimua, Anka Yen Tenase, Emma Niama and say, Niama and Pasca say. We would not have allowed that. Ubekaya, we were warning much earlier, say, borrowing, no, a cano, and a prof legacy, no. Minia, on your station way, how many times have you not interviewed me about President Akufo-Addo ni chartered travels? 20,000 euros an hour. Your presidential jet, we say, and you're luxurious enough. Namwako come private jet, behaving like Arabian kings, Russian oligarchs, and British aristocrats at the same time, at taxpayer expense. Do you know the hundreds of millions of Ghana citizens gone into those chartered ultra luxury jets? Into Yena your power, Anka, all of the recklessness, the profligacy, who can Auditor General's report, and compare all the Auditor General's report from NDC Abresu. You can even go back from President Kufuor. Auditor General's Nankasa admitted this is the worst era of corruption, of wastage. The car we cannot find. And financial sector cleanup. When him say under President Mahama yesterday, what we were doing was a more responsible approach, providing bailout on a moderate scale and making sure there was enhanced supervision. They went for the nuclear option. Ghana Sika say on that bailout 25 billion. Into Minia, the Bia Yaba Bedruno. It is a culmination, an amalgamation of mismanagement, bad policies, profligacy, reckless lifestyle. We will not bring the country here. Now, after they have engaged in all of this profligacy, all this recklessness, very inane decisions. Ubekaya, since last year, we warned. Baby, I Mungo IMF. Look, talk to all the professors of economics, all the experts. If we had gone to the IMF, I've heard Professor Bobkin say this, a lot of them, Professor Gachimu, these are top economists. You can talk to all of them. They agree with us. Ken Ofori-Atta, President Akufo-Addo, Vice President Bawumia, head of the economic management team. If they had gone to the IMF a year ago, they would have prevented this. They decided, they will be irresponsible and reckless. They wanted, because IMF earlier, and all of these charter jets are now air coso, all the jamboree, all the extravagance, they would be reined in. They didn't want that. Until they continued on this path of recklessness. And Nuna Ababedru, the beer, your work, and so your work. When him say, IMF programs in Ghana has entered into all the previous 16 IMF programs. This is the first time a year IMF program with debt restructure. It tells you, we arrived at the IMF in an emergency condition.
Lest I forget.
We are the ICU. This is the worst. Look, the whole Africa, Ghana and Kwana, debt restructuring. The whole Africa. They say this. Look, that we've gone into the abyss, into infamy. This has been the worst managers of the Ghanaian economy we have ever had, and I'm shocked, they don't even have the decency, the respect for the Ghanaian people to just leave office. It is most shocking.
Oh, and why then I go for a speaker, Daddy?
Sir, when him say, my uncle-in-law, he calls me his son.
Okay.
And once he said that, oh, my son, is your turn, I also thought that I can call him here. And
on the lighter side, yeah.
On the lighter side.
He's a very fine gentleman. Very fine gentleman.
Yes. Very, very fine gentleman.
Well,
no doubt about that.
Now, and also,
I should keep it formal. Got him right or not.
And now, can be, sir, the president should learn from Onwani cousin Kenufuriata. But about ad hoc committee, Nenimuna or de Gabiasa or Chidakumbaye, I'm one on which changing in lawyer. No, ain't he? Should take a key from that.
Exactly. And I mean that point because Kenufuriata actually President Akufo-Addo, his cousin, a very, very good lesson, a very good example. Ubekaya, first day, or the Gabi Baye, no? And Gabi, ne temperament, the way our yen in Myanmar. You remember I had clashes with him. Obaye said, look, we don't have time. We have to go and prepare the budget. We have IMF meetings. I said, hey, please. You are here for an important constitutional national assignment. Article 82. I mean, who is forcing you? But you can decide that you will not be heard. The Constitution says that any minister facing a vote of censure has the right to be heard in his defense. If you don't want to be heard, nobody is forcing you. You can go. You can leave it, but don't come here and come and be throwing your weight about. And in another breath, he said, oh, some of the allegations you are making is for press conference. It's not for parliament. He coming to parliament to dictate to us. And I said, hey, please, you're from prime minister. Your territory doesn't extend here. Doesn't extend to parliament. This is a different arm of government. We are not part of your cousin's Jubilee House. This is parliament. The people's representatives. We have our standing orders. We have the rules we must abide by. He had a terrible day, as you all observed. And many people were saying, look, already you are facing accusations of cronyism, nepotism, conflict of interest. And the best lawyer you could find is Wow family member, your cousin. What the optics was bad. I am not surprised. After the first day, he changed his lawyers. I was drawing attention to President Akufo-Addo. Say, you see how smart your cousin is, Kenufuriata. Who say, hey, my position is at stake. This is about my reputation, and this lawyer I chose for my first day, Nyama Ankoye. He clearly is not the best for the situation. He changed them. The next day, he came with two different lawyers. Changed his lawyers. In my debate, I was urging President Akufo to do the same thing. Learn from your cousin who changed his legal representation and also change him, replace him. Look, if you bring a new finance minister, just that announcement, you'll be shocked at the way our indicators will start improving. The confidence it will instantly bring to the market. You'll be shocked. You'll be shocked. Look at what happened in the UK. Kwesi Kwarteng, when he was in charge. Or kind of budget. Nyama Ankoye, it was a total disaster. The pound plummeted. Will you believe, sir? The same hour, the same day, Yesisano, Eddie Jeremy Hunt by new finance minister, new chancellor of the Exchequer. The confidence that he brought to the market immediately. And up to now, the UK has been on the uptick. They've been on the rebound. These things, it's not rocket science. Look, the market has already judged Kenufuriata as a disaster, as a totally reckless and unhelpful finance minister. No matter what he does, all his long speeches, all his Bible quotations, and Kusiaga, nobody is taking him serious. So just change him. And fortunately, on Wankasa Abba Beseti example at the ad hoc committee, he has shown his cousin, the president, how to change your lawyers when things are not going well. The economy is not going well. Just change him. After all, Gabi was also a family member. He changed him. He had the courage to change him. So why can't President Akufo-Addo change his family member who is a finance minister? He should learn from Ken.
May I say, Honorable?
Yo, Mr. Medasi,
say, it has been shut down. What is the way forward?
The actually on the NPP side, no, they have shown that they cannot be trusted. And also, you better change your posture. Now, total non-cooperation. Fortunately, the budget approval process is, we have 3 more stages coming up. First, the estimates. Second, the revenue bills, VAT bill, no baba, e-levy threshold bill, no baba. And then we'll go into the third stage, which is the fourth final stage, the appropriation bill. All of this, you can expect non-cooperation. All those dubious allocations on 1 year, 1.4 billion to contingency votes, we won't approve it. They have to scale it down drastically. 80 million for National Cathedral, they cannot get our support for that. They must first account for what they have done with the 339 million Ababe Galamsey site, where the contractors are no longer working, and the contractors say they are not being paid. And I can tell you, on authority, that the contractors are shocked about how much money was released for this project, and yet they are owed, yet they haven't been paid. Including that dubious 10 million cedis for so-called defense advisory services. All those allocations, no.
The defense advisory services, no, you didn't.
This is the first time I appear in the budget. My kind, all the budgets since 1992. This is the first time that amorphous allocation has appeared in the budget. Said Defense Advisory Service. Ubekaya, last year, there was another dubious one like that called E-Transaction Levy Services. 241 million. Yes. And we shut it down. We removed it from the budget. This is you see, it's shocking, sir. These people don't get tired of their schemes. They have to be cooking something. At this time, we are in an economic crisis. That usher allocations to key sectors. Zongo Development Fund say are collapsing. Maslock are collapsing. Do you know, say Agenda 111? There is no allocation in the budget for that project. No allocation, zero.
Okay.
You start 2023 budget, no allocation for you start. Meanwhile, a banker say, every year be a 1 billion better budget from 2022 to 2025. They have abandoned it. When you have an unemployment crisis, youth unemployment is at an all-time high, 12.3%. They've abandoned it. When they say, what kind of budget now? NAPCO for who are owed over 9 months. There is no allocation in the budget for NAPCO arrears. And yet, you can put 1.4 billion in contingency votes. You can create allocation to employ 1,570 at the Office of Government Machinery. I mean, what is wrong with these people? What really is wrong with them? What our colleagues have done, we've seen that clearly. No, these are not people we can trust for us to work together to salvage this sinking economy. You can expect, sir, in the next few days, no, you'll be seeing a lot of fireworks in Parliament. Don't expect any approval.
Okay, Medas and Honorable.
Yo, Mr. Medas.
Yes, I say, Orumunyan for Okudzeto Ablakwa, a MP for Northtown, former Deputy Education Minister, and the Night K101.7 spokesperson, minority spokesperson on Foreign Affairs.
OKFM 101.7.